puddle by the side of the highway. It's full of fish, including Ember Tetras. Fernando! What are you looking at, huh? Everyone's coming to see us. Não entra na água. This is one of the problems. If we wanted to go in the water, now we can't, because all the cattle go in and they'll disturb all the sediment and they make it murky. And we came here because we thought this looks like a good place to get in the water. Ah, valeu, gente. It's tudo turvo. But this is one of the problems, is that where you have cattle ranches and you have streams with the margins, the cattle come down to drink or to cross the water, and they are pummeling the banks and they turn it into mud. So instead of the original planted margins and forest that you would have near the edge of the stream, which is habitat for fishes, you get these crushed sandbanks. So we're driving along this road up to another town, but 75 kilometers of muddy track, and just stopped. There's lots of water along the side of the highway, but it's all, because of the recent rains, it's all murky. So you can probably see there's some nymphaea down there. I see some fish moving around, but it's too deep really to put the nets in. Too murky to get in with the camera. But it's interesting, all of this along the highway, loads of this flooded habitat. And it's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's pretty hot right now. So one of the guys has got a net. Pegou? Okay, so he was trying to catch some fish and then he got attacked by ants. Fernando also thinks he's found some fish up there. Lots of spine. Muita espinha aqui, ó. Caraca. Lots of thorns. Some razor grass. Possibly snakes. We saw a nice big snake earlier. Qual foi a cobra que a gente viu?
Eu acho uma caninana.
Caninana venenosa?
Não.
Oh, okay, it wasn't venom. Eu vou supervisar.
Tá.
Cuidar.
Do outro lado também dá.
Opa.
Eu vou assistir
Tadpoles.
Esse é o
qual, Fernando?
provavelmente achando que goianense.
Goianense, tá lá. Voltou, ó, passarinho.
Se é um eritrinídeo, não sei.
So the small tetras coming out of this habitat. Astyanax. Eritrinos uniteniatus. E Astyanax coisa. Tá. Vamos voltar. Normally in this kind of habitat we would be using a rede de arrasto, which is a drag net between two people. So you have a long wide net and we would pull it towards the bank, trapping everything in it against the bank. But our main mission wasn't collecting. Our main mission was just observation. So we've just got this small net here, which isn't the best one for catching these fishes in this kind of environment, but it does let us see some of the species that can be found here. So yeah, unfortunately this habitat here is murky because of the recent rains. If it hadn't rained in the last 2 days as heavily as it did, it would probably be clear enough for me to get in and do some snorkeling. But that's the way it is out here. Wet season, it's going to be wet. And yeah, we don't have a drag net, so we can't sample it quite how we might normally do, but our intention was passive evaluation, so using underwater cameras to film stuff rather than aggressive with the nets. But because the water is cloudy, can't do the underwater observation, so we would use the nets, but we don't have a drag net, so that complicates matters. But it's still nice to be here to see this habitat. Hopefully won't get run over by Fabrizio in the car. And yeah, but 60 miles of road like this, it's quite tiring, quite hard to drive, navigating all the mud, trying to stop the car sliding around. There's some really nice nymphaea in here. I don't know what they are, but I wish I could have them at home. Often when you have an entrance to a farm, you get this little stream. Sometimes the waters are clearer. There's a chance to see fishes. There's some Eleocaris. Tem umas macrófitas aqui, Fernando. Interessante. Look at this. So in this tiny ditch, I don't know if you guys can see, there's some Eleocaris, some hairgrass growing down there. This is the kind of habitat where you might find corridoras. And it's draining out of the flooded margins up there. Draining down here. Oh, Fernando, quase. Oh, tem peixe, tem peixe.
Sim, tem bastante.
Viu que tem a macrófita Eleocaris, or hairgrass. So, Fernando is feeding the... Mas é a mesma espécie, né? Astyanax. Little Astyanax Tetras. Estava procurando corredores, coisas assim, né? Que difícil. This is something I love about this kind of landscape, you know. There's just this flooded meadow. There's fish and hairgrass and a gate. It's the entrance to a farm. We were hoping we might find some more Ember Tetras in these kind of habitats, but no evidence of them yet. Instead, you have the more generalist Tetra species, so different Astyanax goianensis, for example. They are omnivorous, they're able to survive in a range of conditions and habitats. They're generalists, so they are often the fish that occupy habitats, most sort of abundant fish that you find. Different times, different places, they are here. But they're still kind of cool to watch in the truck. So there's loads of Eleocaris growing in here, flowing in the stream. But yeah, fishes, only the Lambari, the different Astyanax. Anyway, we've got another 30 miles to go before we get to the point that we want to go. So I'm gonna jump back in the car, where there's also air conditioning, and see you later. I'm just looking at this habitat, which is a shallow, flooded margins, drains under the road here. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you can see, but down here, when I was moving around, there's a whole group of young Popularythrinus wolffish. Yeah, you can just see them moving around down there. If I were, yeah. And these beautiful little lilies. Now this is, I'm going to ask my friend Juliana Leroy what these are. I don't think it's Nymphea. Maybe it is. Oh, it's actually a really nice habitat, but fairly limited in terms of fishes. There's the wolffish, juvenile wolffish, and otherwise not much else. Some tadpoles, a few tiny tetras. Let's have a look on the other side. This is the entrance to a farm, Fazenda Nova Branca. Luckily there's no house nearby, so I'm not going to get shot, which can sometimes be a problem. You start snooping around the entrances to farms. Ah, here's a lot of fish. All right. Oh, gente, look at this! Olha o que tem aqui. Olha isso, olha isso. Muito jejum predando.
Nossa, eles estão subindo.
Seria legal
Fantástico.
colocar a câmera GoPro aqui.
É mesmo. Tudo jeju isso aqui.
Pula, look. Pega. Oh, pegou. Pegou.
São estimulados pela corrente.
Look at that. Literally jumped into Fernando's hands. Você é um pescador mesmo, né? Que o peixe já tem, pula no seu próprio mão. This is incredible. There's all these little tetras. Don't know what species. And then in the middle, you can see the larger fish. These are the jejun, the wolffish. And they are, some of the big ones have been attacking tetras. Just stuck the GoPro in there. You see the jumping out. Just stuck the GoPro in to see if we can film any predatory action. But it's amazing. You see how shallow the water is. Literally, a few centimeters. Water is hot as well. Must be at 30 degrees. So really interesting. And this is just, you know, a drainage basin. Oh, look, chopped out. A drainage basin along the edge of a meadow. Hey, stop jumping out. Go back in. Fantastic. I wonder they're jumping because there's predators around, maybe. Look at this. I mean, they do flip themselves back in. Are chasing the smaller tetras over there. So you can see the larger wolffish. If I move my head to the shadows. Oh, see, it's just jumped out. So there are some predatory attacks going on. The small fish leaving. The fast flow is stimulating the reproductive urge to swim upstream where they would spawn, including as really interesting. All the fish swarming up from the stream up there, and they all head out over there, main drainage. Kind of sweet to watch. Yeah, all the fish gathered around here, swarming in the outlets of the pipe, which is draining the meadows and the canal up here. Let's have a look. Sim, ciclídeo, viu? Eu vi jejum só. Cadê? Eu acho que filhote de jejum. Não? Tem uns heliocaris, loads of nymphea. Fernando spotted what we think maybe are later cara in this habitat. So you can see there's heliocaris, there's the lilies, there's some sort of isoetes type looking thing. And in and amongst that, in about 5 to 10 centimeters of water, there is Ledocara. Now I think these aren't nymphea, I think this is a kind of Sagittaria, because if, I don't know if you guys can see, but if you look at the base of the plant, it's got leaves that look a bit like a Helanthium bolivianum, or a Sagittaria, underwater. That's why I think this is Sagittaria rather than nymphea. But I may be wrong, I'm happy to be proved wrong. Nossa, fervendo, ó. Muito peixe. Ah, sim, a gente coloca o GoPro aqui, ó. So the water is draining out of this meadow across the road. And down there, I'll get the GoPro and film the tetras in there. Come back. Come back. tetras down here coming from the outlet that's draining from that side. And some Carassidium. Oh, Carassidiums. Cadê o Carassidium?
Tá aqui, ó.
Ai, bonitinho. Opa.
Opa, foguinho.
Ah,
Uau, fantástico.
one Ember Tetra. Caraca. Oh, sumiu. Não, dois. Tem dois.
Esse daqui é o Imigramos Paraná, acredito.
So just dip the net in and get a load of small fishes. Like Siphicax. No. Come here. Lovely things. Look. So the diversity of species is not that high. A couple of different tetras. Sort of Siphicarex type things. But there's quite a few of them. We've got a piranha. Ou seja, esse é o qual?
Ixi, eu não sei, tem que ver. Jovem assim, difícil.
Bonitinho. Quer guardar?
Não.
I'm going to go up where they are, and there might be some Ember Tetras up there. See if I can film anything underwater. It's very shallow, but I'll try. Can you believe in this puddle by the side of the highway? It's full of fish, including Ember Tetras. Fernando! So I just found Ember Tetras in this puddle here. That's amazing. So the road must have been flooded, then it's drained out, and these little Ember Tetras have got trapped. Look at him. Tell me that's not an Ember Tetra. In fact, I might be able to get him with my hands. I don't want to hurt him, you see. They're very sensitive. Little individuals. Come here. Oh, you bugger. Ah, one Ember Tetra, wild. Caught in a tiny puddle on the side of the road. Oh, Fernando, não vai acreditar. Tem uns 3 ou 4 nesse poço da água, ao lado do caminhonete. Pensei, tem inseto aqui. Dou uma olhada, falei, não, tem peixe. Dei um outro olhado, tem peixe laranjada. Peguei agora de mão. Ó, olha assim, foguinho.
Incrível, tá?
1, 2, 3. Tem.
Aqui tem 4.
Ó,
não, 3.
tem 3 mais alguma outra espécie.
É.
Então.
Ah? Ó, os pacuzinhos. Metine sleeping cotianos.
O que é?
Pacu.
Pacuzinha? Que massa. Ó, mas peguei aqui, ó. Fala o que achou?
Uma crenicicla.
Preso.
Sim.
That is amazing. A pike cichlid, also trapped after the waters flooded the road and retreated, and he's still alive. Oh, wow, beautiful. Look at that. Esse pra guardar. Não, de verdade soltar aquele. Look at the resilience of these animals, right? So it's in the sunlight, in the full sun, it's about 32 degrees. He's living out in this tiny pool of water and reliant on another burst of rainfall to flood the road and bring relief and flood him back into the ditch down there. Now, I am going to rescue him. Normally we would let things be as they are, but since Fernando saw them, there was a egret here. So he may have eaten the Ember Tetras.
Olha lá, olha lá, olha lá. Ó,
Cadê?
tá aqui, ó. Ó, tá aqui, ó. Então, deixa.
Espera aí. Ué?
Aí mesmo. Ainda tá.
Tá chegando não. Nossa, seu óleo. Viu? Incrível. Ah, sim. Nossa, a água tá quente.
Será que é?
So here we see a little tetra. Oh, I don't know, a Siphocarex in this pool, which is flowing across the road from here, from the drain, from the meadow, flowing across into here. And in this pool are fish. Here we can see where the water is draining down into the meadow below. Here it's already fallen, so it stopped draining. But it would be flowing this wet ground here into this nice muddy area here. Interesting. So the puddle that was here has dried up. There's, you can see Cara, some Ember Tetras, and we will rescue them. So we notice egrets standing by this little stream, crossing the road, and we're going to come and have a look. Kiki dang. Ah, yeah. So down there, I don't know if you guys can see, there is, ooh, it's a bit zoomed out. All those little fishes moving down there. Those are Ember Tetras. Swimming in a tiny puddle from the stream. It's flooding from there. So they've come from a meadow up there, been washed down the road, across the road, and now into here. They'll be taken all the way down there.
Tem pouquíssimos registros. Estamos na bacia do Araguaia, literalmente na estrada. Vou mostrar para vocês.
So it shows you that because we saw the egrets standing up here, we thought, all right, if the egrets are there, then there's probably prey. So we stopped the car, we looked, and down there in that little stream is a shoal of Ember Tetras. So you often, when you're in the field, you look for stuff, but the way to find things is to let nature indicate, point out things, like look where the predators are, and you might find the prey items. Just having a look down here. If there's anything else, you never know what you might find. There's a big shoal of Ember Tetras in this flooded margin again. Been washed across the road, flooded into here. Some bigger fish in here as well.